Welcome to this week's edition of Whiteout. I'm your host, Aaron White. This week I'll take a look back at last Friday's fantastic tie night of racing at Alexandra Park. Then I'll preview Italian night at the park for this Friday, where I'll be joined by my guest selector Joel Reichart, Sales and Marketing Manager at Alexandra Park, to see how you can partake in some great nights of harness racing in Auckland in the upcoming months. Then I'll take you through this week's text around. Thanks for joining me. We head back to a tie night on Friday night at Alexandra Park for the Auckland Trotting Club. It was a 10-race program. We had two superstars of harness racing making their returns in Speeding Spur and Star Galleria, and they didn't let us down. Star Galleria in the feature pace, the 8th on the card, smashing, obliterating the New Zealand 2200 metre stand start record by 3.1 seconds in 239.7 on Friday night, a rate of 156.7, 56.2, 27.9. And the scary part about that is you just got the feeling that he had a little bit left in the locker. The 5-year-old son of Art Major, prepared by Stephen Reid, handled by the Iceman Tony Hurley, started off a 20-metre handicap. He stepped the mark nicely, found a lovely 1-1 trail throughout the contest as well, and he attacked the line attractively in the lane. Star Galleria. A wonderful return, of course. All roads lead to the second Tuesday in November at Addington for him and his connections. Mark Shard was a good run in defeat, commendable run. It was his first stand start assignment. He did bobble away at the start. As a consequence, was taken back into the field. He's really chased Star Galleria hard in the home straight, so he's showing he's not inferior to this class of horse. And 5 No Doctor Needed, the Te Awamutu Cup winner, had to sit park throughout, fought on well for third. The feature trot went the way of Speeding Spur, returning for his tilt towards a Dominion handicap through Cup Week there at Addington off the 50 metres. He was driven for one run on Friday night, and that's exactly how it panned out for Joshua Dickey. At the 800 metre mark, the son of Pegasus Spur. He was only 7 lengths off the lead from there. He was always going to be very, very hard to beat. 3:29.3 was his net time. 2:4.7, home in 57.7, 28.1. A lovely pipe opener for the son of Pegasus Spur, the Rowe Cup winner. For John and Joshua Dickey, and just a lovely pipe opener there for Speeding Spur on tie nights. Real Me In was runner-up to Speeding Spur. Now that was Real Me In's 100th career start on Friday night, and he celebrated that with a fine second placing in the feature square gating event, and one of the most improved trotters in the north, and Heard the Whisper was a good placing there in the feature trot. A win might not be too far away for the Michelle Wallace Bernie Hackett trained square gator in Heard the Whisper, but Speeding Spur, it was great to have him part of tie night for 2018. Just remember too, Speeding Spur, he's only $112,000 off being our next millionaire harness horse, so he could well break that this season, so we're going to keep a track on that as well. So good luck to the connections going forward, of course, towards the Dominion Handicap there at Addington. Well, it was a night of wonderful performances at Alexandra Park. We've just touched on 2 of them. Another one came from a debutant in Chevron Supreme, a Big Jim filly prepared by Robert Dunn, the Magic Man Maurice McHenry doing the driving. She came to the park on Friday night after performing really well in trials and workouts. Well, she led every step of the way over 2,200 metres on debut, and she paced 239.65, home in 57.6 and 29.5, one of the best performances I've ever seen by a debutante at Alexandra Park. In fact, I'll put it out there, that is the best performance that I've seen from a debutante at Alexandra Park. So a really, really exciting filly, Chevron Supreme. And of course, Maurice McHenry did say that was his best chance through our text around last week. Other performances on the card, Bequero, the Shadow Play mare for Anna Donnelly. Scott Phelan doing the driving. Well, she shows that she's still got a few quirks to her game after pacing roughly just prior to the start. As a consequence, she had to be taken back into the field. The 700 metre mark, though, Scotty said go. She whipped around the field. By the time they were coming across the showgrounds turn the final time, she was in front. and she resisted all challenges in good fashion. 2:42.63 was her overall time home in 56 and 27.2. English Rose was another nice winner on the card. The Bettor's Delight mare, the President's Pony. Of course, our President Bruce Carter at the Auckland Trotting Club did tip her out last week as well through the text around. Tony Hurley, the trainer driver there, secured the lovely run. 2:41.15, got up the HR Fiskin passing lane, home in 56.2 and 28.1 was the final quarter. Susie PJ kept up this wonderful vein of form for driver Fergus Schumacher. Picked up a brace of wins at Cambridge Raceway a week prior to Fergus, and he picked up a nice win with Susie PJ. Drove her cold, the way she likes to be driven, and saved up for that one powerful burst. The Big Jim mare got home very nicely, prepared of course at Pukekohe by Derek Ball. She paced the 2200 metres in 2:42.26, home in 58.2 and 29.1, giving Big Jim a winning brace on the program. Savatskaya opened the night. The Monarchy mare broke her maiden status in pretty good fashion, I thought, too, for Dr. Luck Chin. And there's yet another individual breeding, owning, training and driving success for Dr. Luck Chin. This is just a wonderful story in harness racing in the North Island. Just this fabulous breed, and the amount of time and effort that Luck puts into his horses. Absolutely loves it, and here's yet another result for him on Friday night with the deeds of Savatskaya. The first of the maidens was taken by Power Dreaming. That was race number 2 on the program, prepared by Tony Hurley. Tony did the driving too on the Sports Rider colt. He settled 3 back on the markers. Things did open up quite nicely on the HR Fiskin passing lane, and he dashed home well to secure his maiden victory in 2:42.52, reeling off the last 858 for the final quarter, 29.3. That race, along with the 4th race, Chevron Supreme's race, you want to go back to hrnz.co.nz, replay those races over and over and over, because going forward, the form out of those 2 races, we're going to see plenty of winners come from those. Was a wonderful night for young driver Taitlin Hanara as well. She picked up her first ever driving success on the David and Claire McGowan trained Monarchy mare in Phoebe Gem, and it was a great drive too by Taitlin. She was left park with Phoebe Gem, and down the back straight the final time she put pressure into Angus Berger, driven by Brent Mangos. That was the winning of the race. Phoebe Gem showing plenty of resilience to hold out all challenges in the home straight. Congratulations, Taitlin. There is another success story through the Kids Karts movement too. A wonderful way to introduce the youth into this fantastic sport of harness racing. And Taitlin, she is one of those proteges, and let's hope that's the first of many successes for her. And that's a night she'll never forget. A horse you'll never forget, Phoebe Gem. The last on tie night was taken by Cracker Red, the Christian Cullen mare, aided by a beautiful Kyle Marshall front-running drive in 2:42.58 home and 56.3. And 28.1, a commanding success for the QMU-trained Cracker Red, Cherie Wig there, the trainer. Now, my black booker out of the night from tie night, when you go back and watch those races, as I mentioned, hrnz.co.nz, the 2 maiden races, there are plenty of black bookers in there, but if I've got a single one out, I'm going to go with About Turn, Mike Burgess' horse out of race number 2. He found the line nicely for the Wizard Todd Mitchell. Going forward, I'm going to keep him in my black book. About Turn, a nice return to racing there on Friday night. Right, this week we turn our attention to Italian Night at Alexandra Park, a 9-race program it is. We get underway at 6 minutes after 6. My guest selector is Joel Reichardt, and Joel joined me to talk about upcoming events at Alexandra Park, and then having a look at his selections throughout Friday's program along with mine. This is what Joel had to say. Well, we welcome into Wide Out my guest selector for this week. Italian United will be at Alexandra Park, so let's go to Sales and Marketing Manager at Alexandra Park and Joel Reichard. Very good evening to you, Joel.
Yeah, very good evening to you as well.
All right, thanks for joining me on the podcast. Tell us a little bit about your role at Alexandra Park.
Well, my role is basically to drive race night sales, get people in to the facility on race nights, get them involved, get them interested in racing, spread the word of how good it is and all the fun that we all have in it, and basically continue to grow the sport.
And our nights are very, very popular there at Alexandra Park with all the restaurants that we have available on race nights. If we go back to last Friday night and Thai night, seem to have plenty of people on track enjoying the atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we try and do is we try and offer different things for different people. Some people are there solely because they love racing and enjoy going along to the races, while others, need a bit of a hook. And this is where we do Thai night, a beautiful Thai buffet. We theme a room up. This time round, we actually gave a trip to Thailand for two, which was amazing. And we really find that people respond to that and enjoy it.
Yeah, it was great to have Thai Airways come on board for last Friday night, wasn't it?
Oh, fantastic. And they're such a great company, and it's just credit to the club that we're actually attracting large companies like Thai Airways. They want to work with us and build their brand through us, and I think it's just credit to where Alexandra Park's going.
Well, we're getting to the point that we've just about got a theme night for every race night at Alexandra Park, and we've got many coming up as well. So talk us through some of the theme nights coming up at the Raceway.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got Italian night. So this is going to be, I think, the second year that we've run this. So it's an Italian themed buffet. There's also a drink package available. As always with our theme nights, we have entertainment. So this time round we've got a accordionist which serenades people throughout the night, and she's a lot of fun. And also prizes. So really, really good night. The food's amazing, and obviously the racing action's fantastic as well.
Yeah, I see those prizes from Palazzo Italia, so well worth getting on track for Italian night this Friday night.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've still got some tables available. They're selling quick, but if you haven't been to a theme night, our chef, Richard, is absolutely amazing and can just turn on the food. And the value for money is fantastic.
And the best way to book for the theme nights is online at alexandrapark.co.nz?
Absolutely. So you can just jump online, book your ticket, do it through your credit card. If you prefer to speak to someone, you're more than welcome to talk to our race night person who looks after it, which is Roxanne. She's lovely, and then she can talk to you about how to pay for the tickets.
All right, towards the end of the month, a special night for us, Daffodil Race Day, it will be known as under their banner, but of course I think this is the second year running for Daffodil Race Day.
Yeah, it is. This is a great initiative that goes up and down the country, and it's all about supporting the Cancer Society. And so what we're doing this year round is we've got a Tasman room open, and $10 for each ticket is going to go towards the Cancer Society. Anyone who comes on course, so if you don't want to actually go into the actual room, you've got the opportunity to donate. But the really exciting thing is Stephen Donald, the great kicker the kick that saved our World Cup. He's going to be there. Now,
where was he on Saturday night?
We were
drop kick.
I know.
That could have been the sequel, couldn't it? The drop kick.
It would have been another movie. It would have absolutely been a great thing. And yeah, I think we need to practice those. But he's he's there, and he's actually doing a celebrity dual sulky race, which is going to be really exciting, and something that I think will be quite interesting to watch.
Oh, cool. So that's going to be at the end of the month, the 28th of September. So certainly get involved there. And, of course, the New Zealand Racing Board on board there as well. And the Daffodil colours will be on track. And every time they're successful on that night, $500 goes to this wonderful cause, to the Cancer Society. Tell us about the Tropical Night, Joel.
Yeah, so Tropical Night's been going for a long time now. It goes across 2 nights, the 12th and the 26th of October. And really, we put these on to welcome the summer season in. The food is fantastic, especially if you like seafood, and it's just a really good chance to get in there, celebrate summer's coming, and have a good night.
And we must touch on Christmas at the races as well, because this is very, very popular every year at Alexandra Park. We generally get around, about 1,500 to 2,000 people on track for all of our Christmas at the races meetings. So people need to book in fast for those. How do they do that?
Well, basically, again, you can jump online and have a look. If you're wanting a larger booking, you can give us a call and we can sort tables for you. You are right, it is selling fast, and last year was huge for us. We're the biggest in the country, and we did 25% more people last year than the year before, and I'm expecting that to grow again. So don't leave it too late if you are wondering or considering coming along, because it is packing out really quick.
And there's a package for everybody, isn't there? Because, see, the packages start from just $70, so it certainly is affordable.
Absolutely. So package starts at $70, and it's a buffet only. You get a drink on arrival, but they do go up to $165 if you're wanting to spend a bit more and include a beverage package. But basically, we've tailored it so it is attractive to everyone, and also we've got entertainment after the racing. So if you want to go down and have a dance in our Alex Bar and Eatery, we've got that as an option. If you want to sneak off and do a smoke bomb that night and go home early, you're welcome to do that also.
All right. And just touching on the Jules Sulky races there as well, people can get involved. So if you've got a company coming to the races and you want to get involved with Jules Sulky's, how can they do that?
So basically, you can get in touch with Alexandra Park, and we can put you in touch with Kate, who looks after Jules Sulky. You can actually ring up as an individual. A lot of our clients actually give it as gifts, and what we try to do then is match it up with other individuals, and then we put a race on. I've personally done one, and I have to say it is more exhilarating than a roller coaster, because you are behind these magnificent animals. It's really race conditions, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Interviewing the participants after those races is quite amazing too, and just trying to wipe the smiles off their faces. You can't do it.
No, you can't. It's absolutely amazing, and anyone who ever does it says there's nothing quite like it. And I just think it's amazing, because what other sport can you actually participate in real conditions?
Yeah, correct. All right, let's have a look at Italian night on Friday night. It's a 9-race program. Doubles get underway on races 2, 4, 6, 8. The trebles 1, 4, 7. The quaddies 2 and 6, and place 6 gets underway. Race 4, first race underway at 6 after 6. The New Zealand Strong Construction Handicap Trot. What do you like in the first, Joel?
Well, on the first, I'm going with number 7, Macarelli. Basically, I feel it's working towards a win with complete manners. So if it races well, it's got a chance.
All right, I went the way of Great Fantasy, deserves a winning turn, can certainly come on Friday night. Over the 9, Show of Faith, who, after a couple of nice runs down at Cambridge, back to this sort of company at Alexandra Park. She's not without a chance. Macarelli's in the mix there, and a nice debutante, Just Ricky, debuting a Son of Muscle, Mass number 3. 1, 9, 7 and 3 to the second to open the early quaddie. There's a pace over the 2,700 metres. What do you like in the second, Joel?
For the second, I've gone with number 1, Express Play. I think it looks to be the best in the field.
Yeah, and comes up with a nice draw too, doesn't she? And I'll forgive the run down at Cambridge Fresh Up. I put her on top as well. I thought 4 Atom Hanover worked home well enough last Friday night to be a good chance in the second. Red Terror, good run at Cambridge last time, the 8. And 10, the Persuader. Was a nice placing last Friday there at the park. 1, 4, 8 and 10. To the third, trotters over the 2,700 metres here, Joel, and a nice little field here.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't go past number 11, Gina's Girl. She's been racing well in stronger fields, and I think she should get this one.
All right, Gina's Girl, has been racing consistently well. I've gone 7, Red Castle. It made him the long shot last week and should have improved on that run. 10, Jansen. He's another one that's racing consistently. 11, Gina's Girl, for all the reasons Joel's mentioned there. And 9, Mortician. He's been racing well down at Cambridge. 7 to beat 10, 11 and 9. The fourth opens a double treble and also plays 6 paces over the 2,200 metres, and another very strong maiden on the program at Alexandra Park. Joel, who do you like in the fourth?
Major Trojan, which is number 5, absolutely killed them in the Pookie workouts recently, so I think it's going to do well.
Yeah, it was a big win there at the workouts. Will attract plenty of support there. Divine Justice, I went on top of the 6 after what was a splendid run in defeat last week and a slickly run Maiden Affair. 5 Major Trojan. 10 Peaky Sun, didn't get all favours last week. Put a line through that, can bounce back. At Eastern Bull, our Black Booker from Cambridge a couple of weeks ago. Drawn bad, but a definite player, 6 to beat 5, 10 and 8. To the 5th on the card, the Trotters, the feature trot on the program here. Joel, over the 2,700 metres, sees the return of Le Monde.
Yeah, so number 10, Reel Me In. So the fact it pushed the famous Speeding Spur last week, I think it's got a big chance.
Start 101 it is this week too for Reel Me In. I heard the whisper. He's trotting quite nicely up here in the north and starting to get a bit more confidence every time he goes around. And I thought off the front tape a major threat in the 5th over 8, Mr. Good and Evil. The late gallop was costly last week. Yep, Reel Me In's in the mix off his 35 metres there, the 10 and 11 Le Monde. He faces a 50-metre mark like Speeding Spur did last week. He will be running out the race strongly, Le Monde. 5 to beat 8, 10 and 11. Race 6 opens the late quaddie, a further double, 2,200-metre mobile pace here. What do you like in the 6th, Joel?
Linbar Rose, number 9. I think it's got a good draw, which will suit this horse, but I do think this is a value bet.
Yeah, I made her my long shot of the night, actually, Linbar Rose. I went Charlotte Royal, so Charlotte Royal, after what she produced last week, if she finds that again this week, she'll be hard to beat in race number 6. Arden Voyager, a nice maiden winner down at Cambridge last time. He'll certainly make the step up in company. Linbar Rose should get a nice run from the inside of the second, and Alta Leone's been racing well for Kyle Marshall, the 6. 1 to beat 5, 9 and 6. Race 7 opens the final treble, and again, this over the 2,200 metres.
So number 2, Make Way, best horse in the field, so it's going to win this.
Yeah, he should win, shouldn't he? Make Way. Should have taken good improvement out of that fresh up assignment last week. Got a beauty, number 1's got the nice draw. 3, Valendo Denario's back on a new campaign. And 11 Eyes Down and Looking. I'd certainly include that on all your Quinella trifecta first 4 tickets in race 7. 2 to beat 1, 3 and 11. The second to last, Joel, race 8 to open a double, 2,200 metres, and another good maiden on the card.
So number 3, Corbo. So absolutely talented filly and should push them.
Yeah, and got knocked out of the race down at Cambridge fresh up. I went Authentic, another one that comes out of that smart maiden race last week, taken by Chevron Supreme, and it was working home well. So knocking on the door for a maiden win, the 9. Over the 7, Peter Forsberg. Corbo's in the mix with a nice draw. 10, Abraham, improving with racing. 9 to beat 7, 3 and 10. To the lucky last, Joel, and how do we get out on the night?
Rico Lover, number 4. The trainer has said it could be the best horse they've ever had, so trust their judgment, and I think it will do well.
Yeah, Ray's got 4 in the race there, Ray Green. I went with Bodine West, and his workout form's been good, the 5. Over 4, Rico Lover. Should have taken good improvement out of that run last Friday night fresh up. Trojan Banner, another of the stablemates in the mix. And Red Reactor, he's been racing well enough to be a big threat in what is our feature pace on the program, race number 9. 5 to beat 4, 2 and 6. And I can mark Make Way down as your best of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
All right, Make Way, the best bet of the night there for Joel Reichard, Sales and Marketing Manager there at Alexandra Park. I did Make Way and also Bodine Western, my best 2 on the program. Linbar Rose, as Joel mentioned there too, a bit of value in race number 6, horse number 9. Hey, Joel, thanks for your time on the podcast this week, and all things being equal there at Alexandra Park, we're going to be in for some great nights racing with plenty of atmosphere with our theme nights coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. No, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
A big thank you to Joel there around his thoughts on a Friday night, and make sure you head online, alexandrapark.co.nz. Get booked into one of our function rooms there at Alexandra Park and enjoy this wonderful sport of harness racing with friends, family, business associates, you name it. Get along to the park and have a fabulous night. Right, let's have a look at our text around for this week before I leave you. The President's Pick this week with Bruce Carter with a 100% strike rate after winning last week with English Rose. He's going to go into race number 8 this week with Authentic. Maurice McKendry also sitting on a 100% strike rate with giving us 2 for 2 at this stage. He's going with his trained runner Red Reactor in race number 9. The Wizard Todd Mitchell, race 8, he's going with Corbeau, looking for much better luck with her this Friday night. Andre Potama, race 3. The Prince, Kyle Marshall, Eastern Bull in race number 4. He was our black booker from Cambridge. Jay Abernathy, race 8. Peter Forsberg. Michelle Wallace, Bernie Hackett, race 5. Heard the Whisper, as we mentioned in the review there. Was a good effort in behind Speeding Spur and Reel Me In. Win's not too far away, can certainly come on Friday night. Logan Hollis, Shane Robertson, Say Authentic in race number 8. It was a good effort in behind Chevron Supreme last week. Vaughan Blanchard says Charlotte Royal, very good effort last week, drawn perfectly on Friday night in race number 6. Steve Telfer says the resuming Macy Maguire's a big chance in race number 8. Adrian Matthews with Edam Fast Drawn Barrier 1 in race number 9. So that's our text around for this week. I trust you've enjoyed this week's edition of Whiteout. Until next week, enjoy your week of harness racing. And this is Aaron White, out.